Hola, me llamo señor Goodman y hoy quiero hablar de mi filosofía de enseñar español. So I want to talk about how I believe Spanish should be taught in the classroom and how I plan to implement that into my future classroom. So I believe that Spanish is a language where you need to take an active approach. It cannot be simply that the student is looking at the language from a distance, looking at how it's being written on the board, listening to the teacher speaking the language, or simply having a class taught to them entirely in English. This serves very little purpose in actually learning the language. So in that respect, I think students cannot be content with just learning the language from the textbook, or just writing down words on a page about the language, or related to the language. They rather need to be active in their approach and constantly be speaking the language and practicing out loud, even at home. They can practice out loud in front of a mirror, in front of their parents, even if their parents don't understand the language, or even if they're just talking in front of a mirror, because at least this way they are practicing the language. They are putting it out there. They aren't just going home and then coming back the next day and writing Spanish from a textbook. They're actually practicing the language, keeping it fresh in their mind, so that when they get out of high school, they don't just remember like a few words, but they remember a lot more. But I believe if they learn to do this, they can start implementing it more into their daily lives, because it'll be more customary for them to be speaking it out loud. So when they hear the language, they can communicate with others in the language.